Hi, Jules68 here. Talk to me Tuesday. It is Wednesday, February 10th. Um, and I'm just going to do a quick one here. Clearly, wet hair. It's morning, getting ready for work. Got the robe on. Already showered, waiting for the kid to get out of the shower. Um, I did a mass load of dishes last night, so I really don't have. I'm kind of ahead of the game for the morning, so I thought I'd give this a shot this morning. I don't have a whole lot to show you because I showed you my quilt squares last week. I have printed my Twilight Crafts block of the month for the first one here. I printed my pattern. I'm going to do the beginning pattern. If that goes well and I still have lots of time left in the month, I might try to go ahead and do the advanced pattern, you know, just for the heck of it. I didn't buy, I don't think I have any fabric that would work for the hands, and when I went to Joann's this past weekend, they had absolutely no flat quarters. None. Apparently they're switching manufacturers or something, and so they had to take all of the old ones out, and they're waiting for the new ones to come in, so damn you, Joann's. So I had to buy like little, just quarter yards of the fabric that I thought I could use for the beginning pattern. And it looks like I could have waited anyway because I haven't even started yet, so it doesn't really matter. But I'm also, as a challenge to myself, just to work on skills and to keep up with my knitting, I decided that I joined a group on Ravelry called the 2010 Afghan Knitalog, Year of the Afghan or something like that. And I just joined this month, so obviously I was behind the game. They'd already done the January square. So a few of these squares I've done before. I did them last year when we were doing a, oh gosh, just the 12-inch swap. I think Jennifer Offenjen did it on her blog. But anyway, I did the January square. I skipped a lot of these squares and I didn't do them, and then I mailed them off because it was a swap, so. Anyway, I decided, you know what, I'm going to give this a shot. And I'm not going to do any extra squares because I have a bunch of squares from the swap last year. And so I'm thinking that to fill out the Afghan, I will just pull from that and any that might go with the colors. I think the swap we did last year was all acrylic. And I'm using up for this, maybe I won't do that because, anyway. Okay, my dilemma is not your problem. I'm actually making mine out of Woolies, which is 80% acrylic, 20% wool. I have a number of full balls and partials, or full skeins and partial skeins left from a project where I did a wedding gift for a friend. I made an Afghan out of it, and so I have quite a bit. So I was thinking I would use that, and then it would all be the same thing. So maybe I won't pull that in, but we'll see. Here is my first block, and I can't really, the color is kind of bad. It's like, I think it's called Blush Heather. It's a very subtle, heathery pink. It's not like a pinky pink, it's more of a warm pink. Like maybe a blush rose, but really light. Anyway, and that's the pattern. It's kind of hard to see because of it being more of a solid color, but it's almost like a basket weave, if you know what that is. So anyway, there's that. Block number 2, February, is, I'll put a link to that, to the patterns, because they're actually not on Ravelry, they're on a yarn store website. This is block number 2 in progress. February square is in progress. I started it last night, and it's actually a little bit easier pattern to remember, so maybe I'll do that a little more quickly. Because I haven't printed that one yet. So that's what I'm doing knitting wise. I have not mailed your squares yet, or your strips yet, Shanila, but I will do that this week. I don't usually take a lunch break until Thursday and Friday of each week because I am trying to get all my hours in so that I don't keep losing money on my paycheck. So from taking lunch breaks on days that I have to leave early. So other things I've been doing on the sewing front, I have been trying to learn how to do different things on my serger. I've had a serger for about 4 or 5 years. I bought it after I had done. I bought it after I had done several costumes already for my daughter for Halloween, and that was the majority of my sewing back then. So I bought it simply to help with seaming and clothing construction. It's like really fast, and if you want to use, because you don't you know, it trims the edges and finishes the edges, over edges them to keep them from fraying. So it basically takes 2 or 3 steps and puts them into one. So one thing I have used it for is altering things to make them a little smaller when I lost weight before. And it worked great for that, because if it already had, it was a dress with like princess seams, all I had, and darts, and all I had to do was go up the inside of the darts with the serger a few times until it fit perfectly. I just kept trying it on until it fit perfectly. So that's great. If you have lines to follow and you're just altering something, it's really good for that. But I haven't used it for all the other uses it's good for, which is crafting type stuff. Over edge, like, you know, doing napkins or rip cloths or just anything you might want to just simple over edge on. And I'm trying to find easier ways to do like baby gifts for coworkers and stuff where I don't want to spend hours and hours, because maybe I like them enough to give them a gift, but I don't necessarily like them enough to spend hours knitting them a gift. So I want to be able to do easy, quick, easy baby gifts and wedding gifts and things like that. So one of the things I tried was just I took a piece of scrap terry cloth that I picked up in a remnant bin, and I tried just doing an overhead stitch with different colors, and I don't know if you can see it, but this is just with regular thread, and you can see the terry cloth like poking out through the thread, which I don't like at all. And then if you turn it around, see, I had brown on the other side. So I was using different colors. I was using like a combination of white, brown, and green. And I like that, but I don't like the things poking through. So I started, I've got several books that I bought when I got my serger, and I started flipping through those, finding practice projects. Sorry, I have a frog in my throat this morning. And one of the things it recommended on heavier, like on cotton and such, for washcloths and things like that, if you're wanting to salvage like a towel that maybe has a tear, you can make it into washcloths, is using cotton crochet thread in the upper looper, which is just the thing that wraps it around the edge. And so that's what this is, and this is a lot cooler. Now this is crochet thread that I happen to have on hand, and it's a variegated, and I don't know if you can see that or not, but maybe I'll do it this way so I can see what I'm doing. But it does much better. So the heavier cotton, it like is a much heavier coverage. That was really cool. So it's just been fun to try new things and learn how to use this piece of equipment that I've had sitting on my sewing table for many years. I guess that's about it. I haven't done Phoebe's backpack yet. She does have a field trip Friday though, so I do need to get to that. I guess that's about it. My craft room's still a mess, but you know, that's okay. That's pretty much it. I guess I hopefully will have a block to show you next time. Sadly, my time's running out. My coffee is gone. And I have to get ready for work. So, I guess that's about it. Everybody, have a great week.